Hi, so if you've just watched my last video, you'll know that I've just done my makeup and I was a little tutorial on how to do it. I'll put the link below if you haven't checked that out. You can't really see my makeup too much in this video because the light's really bright. However, as I said in my last video, I'm now going to be doing a tips and tricks video for you all on how to revise. I've been doing my A-levels recently and I've had 5 exams, and honestly, even though I only had 5, they were the hardest things I've ever done. I'm not even exaggerating. The revision, the amount of the amount of information you need to know, technique that you need to know when writing things. Personally, I think my subjects are hard because they include a lot of essay writing. I've had 5 exams, and I had them in philosophy and ethics, sociology and psychology. I had 2 sociology, 2 psychology and 1 philosophy and ethics because we had our first one in January. So in January it hit me how hard A-levels were because that was my first exam, and I did revise, but I crammed it all the night before, which is kind of what I've done of these exams, but not as much. I've spread it more out. I've learnt things close to the date, although I know that I should have done better. I should have revised. I should have had things planned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some ideas that can possibly help you, and show you the ones that haven't helped me but they might be useful for you, and just some ways how to revise, how to get things into your head. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I recommend is getting a diary, and this isn't just to do with revision, this is also to do with homework, so to keep on top of things. So mine is out of W.H. Smith, and it was $8.99 or $9.99, and it comes with a little calendar in the front and a map, like normal diaries do, and then it has deadlines and exams, like a page for that, but I didn't actually write anything in there personally. And then it has a page per day, so if you have a big homework to do, or if you have homework where you need to put bullet points on what you need to include, for example if you're doing a certain task, it has this clear divider. Let's take it out here, so you know exactly what page you want. You'd have to faff about, and you just put in what stuff you need to do. And I used to put at the bottom, I used to put my subjects on the top. I wonder if I've got an example for you. Okay, my handwriting's really scuffy because I was in a rush for dinner, but I used to put the subject that the homework is for, and then put the homework. So for this one, it's really long because it was an essay question title that I needed to complete for homework. And I also, if I had things that I needed to do that weren't counted as for homework, I used to put a little star at the bottom, and like, for example, I had to bring my book in for Miss Jackson because she was really interested in that, and she wanted to photocopy it and give the rest of the class it. I'm glad that's over with. And I used to put in my times for my exams, so that my philosophy and ethics one was the 24th, my sociology one was the 25th, and etc. So I really would recommend getting a diary because it is really helpful. And I know this one, you want me to do it, actually I've done it in enough depth anyway, but this one has a little pocket in the back, so you need to put in extra things. So I've got 2 things in here. I've got this like business card for mentoring, which is an enrichment that I did, and I got my award recently for it. And basically I had to help children with different needs. Most of them that I dealt with were from they were all from my secondary school, the children, but most of the problems I dealt with was bullying. If you want me to do any more information on that, or if you want any help or anything like that, or just want somebody to talk to, then obviously my contact details are below. So anyways, back to revision, because I go off on a tangent all the time. I would recommend getting Timetable. So I have this one that I personally made, and I have my lessons up here, and then after college, and the things that have like a black mark, then were old topics that I needed to go over after we started the new topic for our second exams. And the HW means homework, and when it has my homework bit, when I've got a few lines missing, that's because I'm not at college, I've got no lessons the next day, so I don't need to worry about homework until it's actually due in. And then I've got like my extended project and stuff like that, so I've kept on track. And then as it got closer to my exam, my sociology teacher gave me a timetable like this, and it just has all the different topics broke down into dealing with them weekly, so it didn't seem as big, and it has my exams in red and bold. However, because I'm honestly not an organised person, so these didn't work at all. That one, never even tried to stick at it. This one I did try, and I think I stuck at it for possibly 2 days, and then I couldn't do it anymore. I don't like sticking to timetables, basically. So what I'd recommend next is printing when you're getting close, not even close to your exams, but a few months before your exams. I would Google different websites like Get Revising and what's the other one called? I can't remember right now. But I can't remember if I got this off Get Revising or somewhere else. But basically, I got these revision cards off there, and they come out in A4, and fold them in half and stick them together. And this is with my sociology exam, and what I did was I paper clipped it from when it changed from topic to topic, so I knew if I wanted to go straight to domestic violence, it was there. If I wanted to go social policy, it was there, so I knew everything, and I highlighted that. But then after a while I got sick of it and stopped highlighting, so that didn't go down too well either. Okay, so what I'm going to revise next, which is what I did a few weeks possibly before my exam, is what was in the Easter holidays, so whenever that was, I bought these revision guides out of Amazon, and they had recently been reduced. They were £17 each, however I got it for £12, so personally it wasn't too bad. It has AS and A2 because I will definitely be doing sociology at A2. I also got a psychology, one of these two, and I got some philosophy and ethics books in regard to Freud, which is who I was interested in. Okay, someone came up the stairs and really noisy, so I had to pause it. So yeah, I got them books also, and I think all my books came up to like £30-something, and I'm really tight when it comes to money, not in a horrible way. I'll spend it on others. I just don't like spending too much, and I thought I was that desperate basically to have a broken up down version of my subjects that I had to buy these. And what I did was I used to sit on my computer and I used to type like each page up. The pages are like this. I used to type each page up, not not copying it. I used to break it down, put it into my own words, and then I used to stick a post-it note on it saying done, so that I knew that I'd done that page and that was out of the way. I didn't have to worry about it anymore. So I did that with all my revision guides. Obviously I didn't do it with my books, because with the books it was completely different with philosophy and ethics basically. So then what I did after I did all of them on the computer was I printed them out and put it into one of these folders like this. It's got little plastic wallets in it. And then what I did from them folders, because with with revision you need to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. I stress this so much, you need to repeat it so it gets into your head. You need to pay attention to it. So then what I did was I did my maps breaking the computer version down. I don't actually have it because, oh no I do. I used to do computer versions like this, without these scribbles of course, but what I used to do was after I'd completed it is I'd rip it up, and that feeling of ripping it up was like the best thing ever, honestly. just ripping it up and then putting it in a pile before putting it in the bin and thinking I've done all that revision, and it just makes you feel a lot better. It makes you feel a bit more confident. So then, as I did with my revision cards I was telling you about, I also paper clipped these, so I knew that that was changing family patterns, that was changing family structure, that was that was childhood, that was the nature and role of, of family in society, and that was just one of my exams. And I did all them mind maps, which doesn't look like much, but there actually is loads. And that was just what I did with psychology and sociology. But with philosophy and ethics, we had to, if any of you have took philosophy and ethics, then you'll know you have to write an essay. You have an hour and 15 minutes to just write one essay, and you have to know it off by heart basically, and just link it back to the question like God knows how much. So what my teacher did is we had about 50 billion timed essays in our lessons, so we knew how much we could remember. And this is an example of one of my timed essays. So what I did was I'd go through my timed essay and I'd read it, I'd write down the key parts, and I'd go through different essays that I got different grades on. I know one of them I just completely forgot everything and I got a C, which is really good considering I did forget a lot of things. I only wrote like half of my essay, but I linked quite well to the question. And then another one I got a B, but this one I got an A in, so I literally have read this about 50 times, so it went into my head. And that really worked because, believe it or not, I remembered everything in that exam. I remembered all my quotes and everything. It was like a miracle. So what I advise next is, after you've done your mind map, to test yourself to see how good it's gone in and what certain bits you need to focus a lot on, so you know where your weaknesses are. I'd advise getting a past paper and going through a mark scheme. I've got one here actually. So I did a psychology one, and this was before. Was it before or after? I think this was before I'd done the next step that I'm going to tell you about. So I got a B on that one, and I just went through my mark scheme, and it made me realise exactly what the markery person I can't remember the name, markery person wants. So for example, I learnt about 12 mark questions, exactly what it needs, and that only 6 marks of it is actually for the knowledge, and the other 6 marks is for the evaluation and expanding on it. I did the same with sociology, but instead of doing a sociology past paper, because I basically couldn't concentrate, and it's a lot harder than doing a psychology paper because you need to have a lot of time to do it basically. So what I just went through is I went through the mark scheme and highlighted certain bits in which I thought I wouldn't have put that in my answer. So that really helped me too. So the next bit is what is going to be, honestly, this is your lifesaver. I actually live by these revision cards. So first of all, I started doing them like this. So this is cultural differences, and I'd put like class differences at the bottom. So that was like the topic it was in, and then external. So that was like external, so outside of the classroom, and I'd write on the back what it was, and that was really, it was really flimsy. It was really time consuming having to rip it up, and I didn't cut it. So then I thought, by the time I've done all that, I might as well have done it with card, and it won't be as flimsy. It'll be able to flick through it more. So then I started doing, I'll show you an example. I started doing it with these kind of cards. So these are just cards that I'd cut out, but then I found that I was spending like a hell of a lot of time cutting cards that I could have been revising. So then I bought these revision cards out of Tesco, I think it was, yeah, Tesco, and it was like 99p for 100, and they were so helpful, like unbelievably helpful, you wouldn't even understand. So what I used to do, for example, with my psychology one, is I'd have the name of the psychologist, what he investigated, so short-term memory. My little sister came in, sorry. So as I was saying, got the title of the psychologist here, what he investigated, so short-term memory, and he investigated the capacity. Is that how you say that? That's how I'm saying it. The capacity of short-term memory, and then on the back I do negatives and positives. These are all negatives. I'll show you another example. So this is Barak et al. And I have positive and negatives on the back. And what I did with these is I got my mum to test me and go through them and ask me, what did this person do? And then I'd have to really think about it instead of having other questions that trigger it back in my mind. So here's some more examples and some more. And then what I'd recommend doing after doing your revision cards again is going through another, going through another past paper. If you don't have time to write it out completely like how you would, then just do bullet points, and then when you go to the mark scheme, just think, what have I expanded, and put that in. And then don't be generous when you're marking as well, because you're better off being harsh and then you know that you've got something to work to, than being generous and thinking, oh, I'll be okay, I don't need to revise this much. And for example with this one, because with my psychology at my sixth form, we've had about 50 billion teachers, not even exaggerating, and none of them have been good, none of them have taught us anything. We had to teach ourselves all of psychology. So what I went through when before I started doing all my revision stuff that I've just explained, is I went through a past paper and I circled things that I wasn't too sure about. I won't know what to put for an answer, and then you'll find an example. And then I double circled something else where I was thinking, what on earth is that? I don't have a clue. And that's about it for how to actually revise. So other tips are, when you're revising, have lots of cups of tea and eat lots of fruit, because the fruit gives you energy, and if you're getting a bit stressful, tea has chemicals in it which help calm you down and make you chill out a little bit so you're not too stressed. I wouldn't advise eating chocolate because it makes you really tired, but if that works for you, then go for it. And I'd make sure you have breaks in between revising. Don't be revising for a really long period of time, because I used to do that, and then I'd find that after a few hours nothing was going in anymore. So we do have a break, and for example, I've been revising in my bedroom, so when I'd have a break I'd go downstairs and I'd sit with my mum, or I'd go and make myself another cup of tea and have tea and biscuits downstairs. You need to get out of that room because you associate the room with revising, and with me personally, I felt I was like getting headaches from being in the room for too long and just being in the same surroundings and just being stressed through revision. I can't honestly think of anything else apart from colours. Colours are really important, because if you just do all your revision cards in black and white, like so, then it's not going to go in. It's not pretty. It's not. It doesn't. It does go into your long-term memory, but it's not as accessible when it's more colourful and colour coordinated. You know where everything is. You know what that is. You can remember. And I'm trying to think of an example. Like, all of mine are colour coordinated, and whenever I was going through them all, I was making sure that I was changing the colour through each revision card, so I wasn't associating it with the last revision card that I'd just done. And it also gives you a bit of a break between constantly grafting with a black pen. Obviously you're using the same pen over and over and over, whereas with a colourful pen, you have to put your pen down. And it sounds really silly, but you have to put your pen down, pick another one that's not the same colour, and it gives your brain a bit of a break instead of just completely grafting. And if it's possible, I'm trying to find my one that I did. If it's possible, link the colours with what you're writing. So I know one of my psychologists were Gardner and Gardner, so I wrote it with a green felt tip, and for feminists, very, very stereotypical, but I wrote it with pink felt tip. And what else did I write? I just made sure I kept things colour coordinated, so I just didn't get confused, because it doesn't really take much to get my brain confused, as many of my friends know. So basically that's about it. So I was going to say thank you for watching. This is going to be a very long video, and revision cards are the way forward. I'm not even exaggerating. These are going to be, I'm going to do favourites next month. These are going to be in my favourites. Honestly, lifesavers. Absolute lifesavers. So thank you very much for watching. I've already said this about 5 billion times. I keep saying 5 billion times too. Okay, so anyway, thank you for watching.